Hello heroes, there's no lore video this week, but we do have a dedicated theory video. There are two reasons for this. The first, that I've had this theory in mind for a while, and the second is that for the past 2 weeks I've been moving home, so I needed to put something together fairly simple so I didn't go 2 weeks without posting a video. As you can tell by this title, this week I'll be looking at how different Albion and generally the land within Fable would be if Theresa had never existed in the first place. For this, we'll have to look at how Theresa actually interacted with the world and the events that made a significant impact. For section 1, we'll briefly go through her life and pinpoint notable decisions and actions. I will attempt to make this as brief as possible because I've already covered Theresa's life in a video before. Right, starting off, during the Age of Heroes, Theresa is born to the legendary hero Scarlet Robe and a simple woodcutter Brom. As she grew up, she displayed prophetic abilities, one of which she foresaw where she would potentially die in the Chamber of Fate many years later. On her birthday, her village is attacked by bandits under the orders of Jack of Blades searching for members of an ancient heroic bloodline of which Theresa happened to be a part of and had gained her impressive abilities from. During the attack, she is interrogated by Jack of Blades and her eyes are cut out when she refused to answer his questions on where her brother was. Escaping and saved by Twinblade, she hones her powers and helps the bandit camp for many years, where she later becomes known around the region as the Bandit Seeress. While here, she is discovered by her now grown brother, the hero of Oakvale, and she guides him in taking down Jack by passing over power from their bloodline using her magic. She also makes vague comments about his future in the arena and the eventual meeting with the Sword of Aeons. Later, she tells her brother that their mother is trapped in Bargate prison under the orders of Jack. After saving their mother from the prison, the hero of Oakvale later discovers Theresa had been captured by Maze, and they are both used to summon the Septimal Key through a ritual, using both of their blood to acquire it. Now with the key, Jack activates the focus sites across Albion and enters the Chamber of Fate using Scarlet's blood to power the sword, as Theresa just sits there useless to Jack's power. After her brother defeats Jack, he has the choice to either kill Theresa using the sword to access its full power, or throw it into the void forever. As Theresa is in the sequels, it suggests the canon option here is that the sword is sacrificed and Theresa lives, although I have seen some fan theories that Theresa was killed and brought back somehow with her powerful will abilities, but that's for another video. From this moment, she leaves Albion and ends up in the Grand Library in Samarkand hundreds of years later studying everything. Still mad about the evil in the world and holding on to the terrible actions she had gone through as a child, she manipulates Lucian Fairfax into building an Old Kingdom artifact, the Spire, so that she can use its power to protect Albion in the future from evil beings just like Jack of Blades. Although the construction of the Spire causes a ton of misery under the control of Lucian, Theresa sees this as a necessary evil. Unknown to her, the Old Kingdom had been destroyed due to the original Spire's construction. As the original Spire had completed its construction, the mass amount of will energy in one location had created a tear between Albion and the Void, a dimension where Jack had originally come from. Within the Void, evil had come into Albion and the heroes of the Old Kingdom fought it, but during this battle, the Spire exploded, destroying the Old Kingdom. While the Old Kingdom had perished, the Old Kingdom had locked away an ancient evil in a dungeon in Aurora, the Crawler. With the completion of the new Spire, Lucian dies and Theresa takes control. With her abilities expanded using the Spire, an unknown consequence of the Spire's completion had awoken the Crawler in Aurora and the darkness within the Void. With the Crawler awake, Aurora is terrorized by it. Now aware of the consequences, Theresa, years later, enlists the youngest child of the hero of Bowerstone and guides them on how to defeat the Crawler. Through her guidance, the young hero takes over the throne and rallies Albion against the attack from the darkness and saves Albion this time. After this, she goes back to the Spire and waits for the darkness's next attack due to the Spire's will energy still keeping a rift open between Albion and the Void. The darkness later attacks and corruption fills the land, injuring Theresa and reducing her powers, where she uses the help of a dweller, Gabriel, to get back to the Spire, where she uses a wish to destroy the Spire, closing the rift once and for all. While the wish was successful, it also takes Theresa with it. Now dead, Theresa leaves her seer-like mantle to Gabriel, and thus ends Theresa in Albion. Now that was as brief as I could go, but I will expand on her main points and other factors that are important to her timeline. The Old Kingdom is destroyed after the Spire explodes due to the ancient heroes fighting the Darkness's forces. While the rift is closed from the explosion, the Crawler sleeps in a dungeon in Aurora. Theresa is born. While naturally a part of an ancient heroic bloodline, she is gifted with powerful prophetic abilities. Her village is attacked. When Oakvale is attacked, her brother is with her, and so she warns him, saving his life. She is saved by and raised by bandits instead of the guild after her eyes are cut out by Jack. She guides her brother and saves their mother from Bargate prison years later. She is captured by Maze, resulting in her brother being captured and used to perform the ritual for the Septimal Key. She is saved by her brother and leaves Albion, honing her skills and searches for a way to forge a better Albion. She discovers knowledge on the Spire and manipulates a grieving rich Lucian who had just lost his wife and daughter to begin building it for her using her abilities. The Spire is built, resulting in the death of countless innocents. Her great-great-great times 100 niece Rose is one of these innocents. Using her powers of foresight, she knows that persuading Sparrow and Rose to purchase the music box would result in Rose being murdered, but this would allow her to train Sparrow, using the death of their sister would be the perfect hero to kill Lucian, so that Theresa could take the Spire on its completion. Her possession of a completed Spire reawakens an ancient evil, the Darkness and the Crawler. The population of Aurora is decimated by this evil. Aware of her mistake, she looks to rectify it. 50 years later, we believe she saw no heroic potential in Logan, and so she sent him to Aurora, where he was attacked by the Crawler. In desperation to save Albion from Theresa's prophecy that the Darkness will take Albion, he becomes a tyrant king. Theresa uses his tyranny to turn Albion against him and train his heroically gifted sibling to lead a rebellion, take the throne from Logan, and fight the Darkness. She stays in the Spire waiting for the next attack which comes and injures her, taking away her prophetic abilities where she enlists Gabriel. Theresa makes a wish and destroys the Spire, killing herself, closing the rift, saving Albion, and makes Gabriel the new seer. Okay, it is safe to say she is instrumental in all the major events of Albion, but how different would the world be if she had not existed, or if she had died partway through the story? With the groundwork and the main points done, we can simply follow the timeline. Scenario 1. If Theresa had not been born at all, Oakvale would have still been attacked, and it is likely that the hero of Oakvale would have either died during the raid, as he would not have been with Theresa in the field during the assault and not been warned. The other way it could have gone is that he would have been with his parents, tortured and used to acquire the Septimal Key early, resulting in Jack acquiring the Sword of Aeons, conquering Albion without the opposition of the adult hero of Oakvale. Very short, but just her existence simply saved Albion. Albion would have been doomed. Scenario 2. Let's say that Theresa lived and guided her brother until that moment in the Chamber of Fate where he decides whether to throw the sword into the void or sacrifice his sister. If he had swung and killed her, what would change? Following the timeline, we can see that she would not have gone to Samarkand and discovered information on the Spire. There is speculation that Theresa had something to do with Lucian's family's death, but I'm unsure of that. In any case, if she had not gone to Samarkand, Lucian would not be aware of the Spire, and so it would not have been built, saving the lives of countless innocents in Albion. She would not have intervened during Fable 2, where she persuaded the kids to purchase the music box. Sparrow and Rose would have continued to be homeless, unaware of their heroic potential. I guess they would have had normal lives. While Lucian would still be mad and sad about his family's death, he would have not gone to the extreme length of the Spire without Theresa's manipulation. He would have likely left the castle to someone else, or just continued to Mayor Bowerstone in sadness. Without the hero of Bowerstone saving Albion from the Spire, they would not have become the ruler of Albion, and later down the line, Logan and the younger sibling would likely not exist, as the hero would have likely met someone else, or maybe not even had children. Without the construction of the Spire, the Crawler would not have awakened, and so the continent of Aurora would still thrive and their many cities would continue to grow. As for Gabriel, I guess he would just still be a dweller doing dweller things. While Theresa's existence appears to have initially saved Albion from Jack, her quest to rid Albion of evil using the Spire essentially created a domino effect where her initial positive actions simply created more bad actions. While I have attempted to simplify this the best I can, a what-if scenario can come up with so many different variables. I did have the thought of if Theresa had died or disappeared at a specific point, would another hero fill the hole that would be there? Maybe Scythe would have come back during the Age of Heroes if there was no hero to oppose Jack. That is the only person possibly powerful enough to stop Jack. Although Scythe during the Age of Heroes had been weakened by a plague he had contracted in the Void during the time of the Old Kingdom. Maybe he was not powerful enough, and that could explain why he does not properly intervene during Fable 1. Is Theresa a bad person? I guess it is your way of looking at it. I believe she began with good intentions as she did attempt to save as many people as possible after the awful actions she had been subjected to. But as things began to go wrong, she believed that the needs of the many outweighed the needs of the few. Manipulating the hero of Bowstone resulted in the death of Rose, and pushing Logan to the brink of insanity in her eyes were simply necessary actions to fix the consequences of her actions. Closing thoughts. I really enjoyed working on this episode, and I am hoping you did too. Theresa is such a fascinating character, and her existence as the Overseer of Albion was a genius plot device by the Lionhead team. Would you like to see more dedicated videos like this? What do you think of this theory? Did I miss anything? Or are there other scenarios you would like to explore? There may be many variables I have missed, but I feel like I got the main points. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Now, enjoy your day. Bye.